Hey folks, Shotgun Wasabi here with a quick build video, or at least a showcase of two of my favorite exotics right now. I'm sure you've seen quite a few videos on the new exotic, the Delicate Tomb. This is from the Season Pass. Here, the Trader's Vessel fires a wide horizontal spread when shot from the hip. Final blows with this weapon have a chance to generate ionic traces. Powerful foes and opposing guardians always generate ionic traces. And you've got Tempest Cascade as well. Collecting an ionic trace overcharges this weapon's next shot, jolting targets on hit. So a lot of great perks on this fusion rifle. It's a 500 charge time. It's great in PvE. The new exotic helm, I love this thing. Fallen Sunstar. Here you've got the perk Ionic Conductor. Ionic traces you create move faster and grant you additional ability energy. Nearby allies also gain ability energy when you collect an ionic trace. So when you pair these two, obviously you're going to be building upon getting those ionic traces to give you more ability energy as well as a faster rate. And when you have the right fragments and aspects. Now I went with Arc Soul and Electrostatic Mine. Here, Electrostatic Mine gives you more ionic traces, and when you defeat targets with arc abilities or defeating jolted or blinded targets, it creates an ionic trace. Collecting an ionic trace makes you amplified. You can see what amplified does. It makes you speed you up basically, and your weapon handling is a lot better. But I went with Arc Soul as well, just for the fact that I like the new melee ability, but when it comes to doing like the harder content, I don't see this being as viable, especially since you don't guarantee killing everything when you end the melee. So I'd rather be in more of a distance. So Arc Soul, it works. It's got a bit of a nerf too, but it still works, and it counts as an arc attack too. So with the fragments, went with while you're amplified, your arc special weapon final blows create a blinding explosion. That works awesome with this fusion rifle. So you're pretty much going to get ionic traces, get amplified, and then when you get a kill with that fusion rifle, you're going to blind a group of enemies that way. It's great for kind of trash ads, but it's a great perk or fragment that works with the special weapon, the fusion rifle. So when you're surrounded by combatants, you're more resistant to incoming damage. I went with that because I wanted to boost the strength as well. Here, when you're critically wounded, or your melee and grenade energy regenerates more quickly. I wanted to go with this because that's going to happen a lot, quite a few times, especially in Grandmasters. So melee and grenade energy, it's always a good thing to get it back faster. And this is one I wanted to use because this is more or less like a grenade build. I wanted to make sure the grenades jolt the targets, so they basically chains all that damage. And there's other aspects too. I mean, once these open up, it'll be actually kind of cool to kind of play around with them. All right, so just going over the armor mods real quick. I went with Ashes to Acid since this is a grenade build. I wanted to gain some bonus super energy on grenade kills. Put on the fusion rifle ammo finder, of course, because I'm using a fusion rifle. Here on the gloves, you want to put on something like, whatever mods you need for your activity. But I like having grenade kickstart because it gives you some grenade energy when you throw a grenade. Of course, you got your resist mods here. I went with Font with Might for a Wells, and I'm going to go over the other ones as well. But you pick up an elemental well that matches your subclass energy type, grants a temporary bonus to weapon damage of that same elemental type. So a big bonus to the arc weapons you have here. Also, yes, I also put on elemental Ordinance, and I put on several of these so you can get some more energy back from the multiple wells that'll be dropping. So when you defeat a combatant with a grenade, you spawn an elemental well that matches your subclass type. And again, I put it on my boots. For this mod here, I mean, you can put whatever you want on the artifact, what you've unlocked. I've already unlocked Lightning Strikes twice. I've used it a little bit. I'd rather not use that because it's takes up 7 energy. And honestly, bomber mods are more effective in my opinion. And at least you can pair it up with a different artifact mod like surge detonators. You can use this to disrupt combatants, and it's good for overload champions. So here I put bountiful wells. Here you have elemental well mods that cause you to spawn elemental wells can now stack, spawning additional wells for each additional copy of the mod you have. In general, when I throw a grenade, I usually get 3 wells back, so that's pretty good. That's why I like using bountiful wells. And when you toss it with the multiple copies of elemental ordinance, I mean, you're getting back your grenade energy really quick. And it's helpful not just for grenade energy, but for class ability energy and your melee energy. Now, you don't necessarily have to use the delicate tune, but I do like using a special weapon so you get that blinding effect when using a special weapon. But I did play with other arc weapons as well. And if you can get one like this, like the Forgiveness, this is like an ideal weapon, not only for PvE, but also PvP. But you can get the Demolitionist and Adrenaline Junkie on it. This is a great combo that actually works well with this arc subclass. And in addition to that, you've got Nezarac's Whisper. I mean, I've been playing around with a lot of these. This one I'm definitely going to forge when I get a chance. Brigand's Law. Xenoclass, another good one. Posterity. Here I've got Demolitionist on it. Forbearance, this is a great one. If you got Salvage or Salvo, that'll work too. Trinity Ghoul, Risk Runner. So there's all kinds of arc weapons you can use in combination with this. But in general, I love just using this Delicate Tomb with this helmet. It's a great combo. If you haven't tried, definitely give it a shot. Like I said, I went with a grenade build, so I put everything in the grenade discipline, regardless of getting those ionic traces. You're not going to always get kills, so passively, at least you get this grenade energy back quickly as well. And from my understanding, everyone says that the resilience is not working for an arc warlock. But in the future, I'm sure they're going to fix it. So I still went with, resilience in the future and discipline, just for those harder PvE and content kind of stuff. Or if you wanted like solo, a dungeon or a lost sector, it's always good to have, resilience up. Well, at least until they fixed it. So anyway, that's it for the video. If you found it helpful, please do the YouTube thing, like, subscribe, and share the video. Wasabi out.